Danny, speaking about your beloved Liverpool, they go to the San Siro and they won. So they've got 1 foot in the Champions League quarterfinals. Before I hear from you on, amongst other things, this wonder kid Harvey Elliott, this was Klopp saying, hang about, let's not get too carried away.
It's half time. Nothing else. So that's how it is in knockout stages. You learn a lot about the opponent. Before you make an analyze without playing them. After that, you make an analyze with playing them. So both teams know much more about each other. So we don't feel like halfway through or whatever. We know it will be a tricky one, and we have to be ready for that. But halftime, tune it up. If it's a proper halftime, like today we are tuning up halftime, I don't tell the boys, oh my God, job done. Put your legs on the table. That's a very tricky result. And why should we think differently about it now?
Well, he's right. There's a bit to go yet in this tie, but you have to think Liverpool without tempting fate.
He's not right.
Go on.
They've won.
Well, hey, go on,
Danny. They beat Inter in third gear, fourth gear. Wasn't even. They didn't have to push themselves that much to beat them. I'd be at Anfield 2-0 up against Inter side who've got strikers who can't run in behind. Nah,
it's done.
It's done.
I mean,
he doesn't want to say it. He's saying the right things. It's his job to do. But the game's done.
Yeah.
No chance.
You think, Simon?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, he's being magnanimous, but he's also making sure that his players understand that you don't just stroll into this next game because the job is done.
Yeah.
They'll get it anyway because they should be getting that sort of dynamic because they're elite footballers.
Yeah.
But with the mindset that Liverpool have got, it wasn't as compelling a victory as obviously Man City's, but it was compelling in a different way because I think Inter Milan were a better side than the Portuguese side that Man City played. I think it's much more difficult to go to Italy than it is to go to Portugal, with due respect to the Iberian team. And I think that, Liverpool got a very good result, and what it does show you is, again, this argument about how strong this Premier League is, how strong our elite teams are in Europe against the European sides, and that's why we're seeing so many of the tournaments featuring English sides in the final in both versions, whether it's the Europa League or whether it's the Champions League.
Yeah. And
both results were great results for different reasons. I'm actually more enamoured with Liverpool's result than I am with Man City's, because I said to you Man City would go past the Portuguese side with a canter.
Yeah.
This one I thought was a more difficult task. And I take Danny's point about their forwards, but notwithstanding it, still going to the San Siro, shutting them out. They didn't have a shot on target. Realistically, I know they had a goal disallowed, but they had a shot on target.
The bar, which isn't classed as on target.
It was a comfortable win in the end. He made a big call pre-match. In came Harvey Elliott, making his Champions League bow at 18 years, 318 days, becoming the youngest player ever to start a Champions League match for Liverpool. What was your reaction when you heard that, Danny? And now you saw the boy in the San Siro. What was your take on it?
I was pleased because I enjoy watching him play. He's a creative footballer who's got great technical ability. Klopp's got a habit of, he put Trent in really early, if you remember, and left him in. Trent's played, it's like he's been there for years, and he's still in his, 22? He threw Trent in young, he's put Curtis Jones in young. If you're good enough, you're old enough with Jurgen. There's no problem with that. I think Harvey Elliott's got that maturity about his game, which you have to be put in a team.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see his development, because I think he's one of those players that gets fans on the edge of the seat because he's got that silkiness. He can manipulate the ball. He can go past someone. He's going to score goals. I know. I think it was Jamie, wasn't it? Jamie Carragher talking about maybe playing in a similar role to Salah. I'm not sure about that, because I think with his ability on the ball, keeping him more central is probably the way to go, which is why I think Jurgen's playing him in a midfield three.
Right.
The only thing when you play in a midfield three, of course, is you have to be really responsible defensively, and that's something that'll grow. But he's fit as a fiddle.
And did you think about 60 minutes would be about right at the start? That would be about him.
Well, I think considering he's come back from what was it, 5 months? 5 months out, slowly but surely. But to throw him in so early shows how much confidence he's got in him. I know him and his dad are big Liverpool fans. Can you imagine how proud his dad would have been sitting in the San Siro?
Oh, amazing. What a moment for them. What a moment.
He's going to be a terrific player. But as I say, he does it. He's done it before.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones is developing into a superb midfield player. And Trent how many games he got under his belt, and that's because Jurgen has given him the confidence.
He throws him in. Yeah. What were you, 20 when you made your debut?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. Yesterday, Simon and I were right at the heart of not for the first time in our lives, a pile-on with listeners giving us a call after the comments of Trent Alexander-Arnold that it doesn't matter about quantity of trophy, it's more quality of trophy that counts. In other words, look at what we've done compared to look at what City have done. Where do you stand in that, Danny? I mean, he's saying it is the quality of trophy you win that is important. Of course, he cites the fact, unlike Manchester City, we've got a Champions League trophy. We won the Premier League. And Liverpool, Danny, at a minimum, should Liverpool be winning one a season, one trophy a season?
In an ideal world, I think you want both, don't you? You want the best trophies and you want lots of them, but sometimes you can't always have both. I think if you talk about Liverpool in isolation, when Jurgen went in there, if you'd have said by 2022 Liverpool would have won the league and won the Champions League, every fan bar none would have said that'll do us. They've been fortunate over the years to see many FA Cup wins, many League Cup wins, and those big ones. Okay, Champions League actually, of course they've won that not so long back, but 30 years wasn't it, the league title? So I think the job he's done there and the trophies they've won is phenomenal.
Is it?
You can.
Four trophies in 7 years.
It's not just about trophies. I've always said this, even when we talked about Tottenham a year or two ago under Pochettino. It's about progression as a football club and being competitive. And the more often you're competitive in the big trophies. So Liverpool didn't just win a Champions League; they lost the final the year before to Real Madrid. They didn't just win the Premier League; they lost to a point to Man City the year before. So being competitive.
Does anyone remember that though, Danny? Apart from your good self, and it's good to hear.
Not in terms of your own personal decorations, if you like, as when you finish. But what managers do when they go into clubs, they want to, especially big football clubs, you want them to be competitive. It was Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland talking about it with England, saying, well, if England are more competitive more often, i.e. finals, semi-final, you might lose the odd one, but you're going to win the odd one. You're going to win more.
Right.
So are Liverpool competitive at the top of world football? Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, they might be 6 points behind City when they win the game in hand, but even staying on the coattails of City is a challenge. But they are there every season now. Yeah. They are there. So I think he's done a tremendous job, and I don't just judge it on trophies.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.